I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. The Middle East war is getting bigger. Putin is getting balder. Zelensky is getting stronger, and America is getting Kamala.
Freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose. Hey.
That's right. Let's talk about the Democrats running a wicked-ass accomplished alpha chick for president. Because everyone on the right seems to be forgetting that Kamala is one of the most qualified VPs since Biden. She's even more qualified than Obama when he became president. And the GOP is really all over the place about this crime fighter badass.
I think she was a DEI hire.
She was a DEI hire, a black female, ethnic background.
She was a bum.
She was elected district attorney of one of the world's major cities. For 7 years, she cleared 27 of 74 backlog closed homicide cases in her first 6 months. She pushed for higher bail for gun crime. She tightened loopholes so criminals couldn't game the system. And there's more there. Then she was elected Attorney General of California for 6 years. Then she was elected to the U.S. Senate for 4 years. Then she was elected vice president for 4 years. She won every election she ran in. She's not a DEI hire. She earned it, unlike this wrinkly-ass old white man. Sweet Potato Hitler is a 6-time bankrupt reality TV star, 34-time convicted felon, and rapist who admits he grabs pussy and when he was president, planned and executed a failed coup, because he is and always has been a failure. Every day he was president, and before that, I could have just stopped at failure. He never had 1 day of experience in government. 40% more Americans died during his incredible shitting the bed during COVID. He lost millions of jobs, ran up $7 trillion in debt, exploded the deficit, and we had riots left and right for 4 years.
Very fine people on both sides.
I got a question. Why do white men get a pass when this pillow-fisted mama's boy was given $400 million by his daddy? He went bankrupt repeatedly. This man right here, bankrupt casinos. Think about what that takes. The man bankrupt 4 casinos. Do you know how casinos work? People walk into the casino. They hand over all their money. And then they walk out of the casino. Somehow he found the glitch in that. So all you think because Kamala is unqualified because she's a woman? Watch. Look, I get that these white men are scared.
It makes me nervous.
I would be too. You know who's worried she is a woman? Weak-ass, white, incel, nutless douchebags. I'm sorry, they aren't nutless. They had to buy their testicles to hang them off their truck's trailer hitch.
Truck nuts? How small are you? That you need to hang a giant set of fake testicles off your pickup. It's vagina repellent.
You know why some men can't stand these kind of women? Because strong women can't stand these weak-ass, blame everybody but themselves boys. You know what's funny to me? That these failures of manhood, men who can't deal with an accomplished, competent woman, one whose record is so stellar, strong on crime, strong on her beliefs. You know what Katie Porter said about her? She worked for her. She said, what I saw is somebody who is not for sale. Katie Porter said that. So our candidate is Kamala. Tough on crime, self-made, accomplished in every job that she had to win an election for. And the only thing they have on her is she's a black woman. In my experience over the last decade, the most formidable people in America are black women. Good luck, guys. This is Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. You're going to go up against a black woman. You know what's really funny to me? Is that these white guys think that's going to stop us from voting for her. Yeah, you know what? She is a black woman. Oh my God. We have vision, dipshits. Everybody, Christopher Titus, Titus Podcast. Hi, how you doing? With me as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray. Hello. And the lovelier Highlander. We are in a weird time again. What has happened? So we did the thing on the Armageddon Update on Kamala, but I will say this. This morning, this is Wednesday morning, Wednesday noon, actually, and because we get here before noon on Wednesday. Sorry, I'm in a good mood. Israel killed one of the leaders of Hamas, who was in Iran. So Israel basically attacked Iran. So so the slow march towards World War III continues, is all I can say. That being said, we've got war in the Ukraine still. We've got Russia wants Trump to become president, so as does Putin. And we are effed. I think we are effed in a lot of ways. Again, people remember, world wars don't start on Thursday. It takes a couple of years.
It is kind of amazing that Ukraine hasn't been taken over by Russia yet, right? I mean, obviously because of our help.
But they're also, if you remember correctly, Putin thought he was going to go on for 3 days. He was going to go on for 3 days. And
then all the trucks went off the road.
Then all the truck tires popped. But the problem with that is that you can't take away, I say it's the ferocity of the Ukrainian people, because you cannot give people freedom and democracy, then take it away.
Yeah.
You could now Russia's never had it, so they're just used to it. Mm-hmm. But if you give people freedom and democracy, and then you go, we're going to end that, they're like, no, the fuck you are. and that's kind of like, that should be on the border of Russia and Crimea, Ukraine. Jesus, I just brain farted. It just say the fuck you are in Russian. It should just say the fuck you are in Russian. Just a giant billboard.
Well, I mean, the Russian people are just like, they're just cannon. I mean, they're shooting their grandmothers and kids.
Didn't they call up like 60-year-old men? So they called up all the people that were in the military before they called it. So we're not getting reports about it. I don't know why. I'm sure Putin's locked it down because it's not going well. So that's going on. Then we got the Middle East war heating up. We've got China pissed off. We've got North Korea talking shit. Everything's going nuts. And then this one little bright spot and I thought, I have to admit, I was dead wrong. I thought when they got rid of Biden, because Nancy Pelosi was talking about a brokered convention, that we were going to look like a herding cats. It was going to look horrible.
Well, because we thought that it was just Biden was going to potentially drop out. And that meant that who knows? Then we have to have a primary with 7 different people, and we've got a week to kind of shop them and vet them.
Quit. I thought what he was going to do was say, I'm just going to finish my term out and you guys can do what you want. And then he was going to let it come. I thought he was just going to announce I'm not running for president anymore. But I think Biden is super smart. And he went, okay. All right, Nancy and Adam Schiff and all you douchebags that basically kicked me in the balls repeatedly after I turned the country around. Okay. I'll step down, but this is what I want. She runs for president. Because I remember Pelosi wasn't up for that. Pelosi, we have many different candidates. Or I can say, Nancy Pelosi, we have many different candidates. Yeah, for God's sakes. Yeah. I would hate to be in a conversation with Nancy Pelosi and Andrea Mitchell. I would just stop talking.
Yeah. She's 84.
84, and she's talking smack about he's too old and he doesn't have it together.
That he needs to step down because he's too old.
Well, she never said that, right?
No, she said
she would back whatever his decision was.
After he'd made the decision 15 times. After he'd said, I'm in the race and I'm staying.
Listen, I'll
like
back
an
whoever.
Old man yelling from the room in the home. No one's listening. No one's listening to me.
Yeah, you know him.
So then they put Kamala Harris in 1 week. She raised $200 million, and this is the part I love. It's not from corporate donors.
Yep.
It's from us.
Yes.
It's from people.
Yeah,
and that's America. That's America. You know, you can pass Citizens United. You can make it so corporations can pick what the laws they want. You can go ahead and do it by paying off our politicians. But Kamala Harris, and that's why I said in the Army, Katie Porter, they interviewed Katie Porter about her. Katie Porter used to work for her. And she said, the one thing I can tell you is that she is not for sale. And again, Katie Porter saying it, because Katie Porter is the first one to grab a whiteboard and start talking shit about you. She'll draw a picture of your mama and make fun of it.
Yeah.
And, but she said that she can't be bought. And that's awesome.
And the fact that
so far anyway,
because we felt like if Biden steps down, oh God, it's going to be chaos. But the fact that it was the handing off of the baton was so quick and smooth because she's VP. She's already VP right now. Her name's on the fucking signs, So switch the names. And it just made it like, oh, fuck off. Okay, this is now I'm excited. Okay, great.
You know what's weird about it too? They made it so it's okay to be who you are. Like they had white dudes for Harris. They had a big Zoom call white dudes. I like honkies for Harris. I think it's
I just read an article that Elon Musk, what do they call it? canceled him, whatever the fuck they call it now.
Canceled. Oh yeah, he's pulling people off Twitter that are supporting Harris
Because they raised like $4 million
on Twitter.
Yeah, off of that. And then, okay,
so what we've got whoever's idea this was, it wasn't Pelosi's. I'm not going to regret. Whoever, if it was Biden that said no, she runs. I had this moment yesterday. I was working on the opening credits and we're doing a thing for the opening credits for the next comedy special, and I was working on it here at the shop, and I had this moment where I thought, you know what's really cool is that if we're lucky enough, we may live through seeing the first Black president and the first Black woman president. Yeah. In America. And that's what America was supposed to be from its design. It was supposed to be everybody. Mm-hmm. That's really cool. I mean, we've had a bunch of fat, old, scummy white guys. So we're used to that.
Yeah. And a lot of guys that loved a lot of women. So it was kind of, they were there, but
starting with Thomas Jefferson. We've had Black women near the White House.
White House adjacent multiple times.
You know, it's not just that she's a woman, but certainly that plays a large role in this, but it's that she is a woman of color, and that has him going batshit. He did a Q&A at the NABJ, which is the Black Journalists Association.
It was brutal interview.
Wow.
He said she's not Black at all.
He said she turned black.
She turned black. She
turned black.
He said it in front of the Black Journalists Association.
Well, he turned orange, but
she happened to turn black a few years ago. He said, I always knew her. I mean, not personally, but I knew of her, and she was Indian. And I'm thinking, what? Wait, I actually never knew that her mother was of Indian heritage, just because I didn't delve into Kamala's backstory ever. She looks like a Black woman. She has always said she is a Black. What is he talking about? And then he said that she's happened to turn black. Like she did it for this election.
What the fuck? I want to be
why
clear.
doesn't someone say to him, and no one has said this before,
journalism sucks
her
right now.
father was Jamaican, a Black man. Her mother was Indian. She's both. Why doesn't anyone say she's both? She actually is both.
Right.
I'm surprised he's not asking for her birth certificate.
He will.
That's common, man. She's not her mother. You know what? You know the funny thing about they call her a DEI hire. So wait a minute. So the Democrats want the worst person to run the country because they happen to be Black and a woman. What? And you look at that's why I went over her qualifications. Now I'm getting an update because I'm like, this woman's literally more experienced than Obama was when Obama became president.
She was in the CIA. She was.
So, but the thing about the thing to watch women get shit on for being women is so funny because her accomplishments are so much better than Trump's.
Well, the journalist that started asking questions at the beginning of it opened with, "You said these three things," and it was things that he had said to Black people and particularly Black women. And so I'm asking you, because he's in front of the Black journalist audience, I'm
Obviously,
asking
some
you
of his people are there.
How you think that you can gain the Black vote, given that this is your history and how you treat and speak about Black people. And he just goes off. You're nasty. You're a nasty woman. That's a nasty question.
He goes, first of all, your equipment didn't work. That's why we're an hour late. That's why we're an hour late. And he starts yelling, and then he starts going, and you are not. That's how you start. I'm a guest here, and that's how you start.
It's disrespectful.
But that's the bullshit.
He's proving
that's the narcissism
what she's
bullshit.
saying about how he treats Black women, because he would never do that to a white man.
Yeah.
He sits there and belittles her and dresses her down because she couldn't get it together to get it started, because I guess they had an equipment problem.
No, Midas Touch said, Trump said they didn't agree to not call and fact check him in real time. So this is what's going on. Midas Touch put out a thing. There was a guy there that said Trump refused to start the interview until he got assurances that he would not be fact checked in real time.
You're fucking kidding me.
No. So they negotiated for an hour.
I wonder if that's what always happens.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Fuck them. But here's the thing. And now we're back to news. I will say this: if that happened, that sucks. And if you're a journalist, you don't agree to that. It literally takes out the heart of journalism.
That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry. We need to take the facts out of this. I guess I'm not a journalist anymore. Why don't we just do a fucking infomercial for you then? Which is what MSNBC and CNN have been doing. I do not understand how the journalist integrity in this country has fallen so far that Jake Tapper, Ari Melber, even Rachel during the Biden thing, man, I would say that these guys have dropped it for one thing: ratings. And the only two people I see consistently coming out and bitch slapping this dude is Katie Fang and Joy Reid. The only two people that come out and go, hey, this is what he said. It hits as a lie.
Stephanie Ruhle was,
but she's kind of become this. Stephanie was becoming a talk show host. Have you noticed on her show?
I don't watch it anymore.
She's becoming a talk show host in a sense that everybody's mind. Now, she was jamming people up. And so we have lost the journalism. The fourth estate in this country has lost their fucking minds for ratings. As opposed to, so I don't know who to go to now for the truth. You know, the great thing about when Dan Rather was around, I was a kid. If Dan Rather was talking shit, like him was, you were like, okay, this is happening. Why? Because Dan Rather's saying it. Walter Cronkite's saying it. Who else was really good for a long time that we really loved? Tom Brokaw. Tom Brokaw was another guy. You were like, okay. And then what has happened is with the 24-hour news cycle, it's turned into entertainment, and they've, instead of becoming better at journalism, which would make me watch them more, they've become Fox, where everybody's just talking, just saying whatever. Because the only reason Trump is even a viable candidate was 100% because of our media. They talk about him and treat him like he didn't commit treason. They talk about him and treat him like he didn't say he grabbed pussy. They'll bring it up once in a while, but they continue. Well, you know, former President Trump. How about this? Coup leader, ex-President Trump, failed President Trump. Let's get to the facts, because those are the facts.
Mainstream media has just become a propaganda arm for each side,
as it always does. Well, no, MSNBC is gone. We've been watching MSNBC. So all these corporations are owned by right wingers. So the NBC is literally owned by right-wing CEOs. Yes. And so now, what I noticed is once the election started getting into gear, that's when MSNBC changed, and it's because the head guy, the people that own it, the owners, are Republicans. And since I'll say it again. I know you guys are tired of hearing it.
Fairness and doctrine.
Since we don't have a fairness, but that's the key. We don't have any standards for news. If we had a standard for news that the FCC would fine you every time you said something false, then what would happen was, well, Fox did get false. Fox got sued. You literally have to go through a lawsuit where Fox. People forget that Fox was charged $870 million, almost $1 billion, because they lied about the election. And so I'm to the point now where I'm
explain that. And
what?
Yet there's still a thing. People are still watching them for news.
Because there's no fairness.
They lost because they had to concede that they lied, that they not only lied, but knowingly lied, that they knew the truth and reported otherwise, which all of be very clear, their emails showed throughout a long period of history. Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, Weinbach's, Janine Pirro, all of them, they had, it means two things.
Yes, it does. Janine Weinbach, that's why it made me laugh. They all were talking about how dumb the viewers were in their emails. And Tucker Carlson, I effing hate Donald Trump, in emails. And then that same day, going on the news and saying the election was stolen. But every time he brings up the election was stolen, they cheated, they always cheat. The news doesn't go, hey, we know he did. We know he's lying because Fox News went to trial and was found that there was no election fraud. Chris Krebs.
So did, OAN.
Yeah. One of them shut down, right? Chris Krebs, the guy Trump picked to run election security, said it was the safest election we've ever had. Bill Barr said there was no election fraud.
OAN had to do an on-air retraction. That was part of their settlement.
Right.
But all of that.
But he keeps fucking saying it, and the news doesn't go, stop. You're lying. Your own guy, Cyber Ninjas, spent 6 months recounting the votes and found more votes for Biden.
Yep.
There was no fraud.
What about the 65 court cases?
60, yeah, right, yeah.
Like what? But nobody says it. They just let him go. One of the Fox News and Friends host today said that a man voting for a woman as president because she's a woman is because he has mommy issues. And
well, by the way,
he's not
guilty,
a man,
but that's not why.
He's not a man. And then he said that scientists have said that a man that votes for a woman as president becomes a woman himself.
Scientists said
Scientists.
that. Scientists,
The smoking ones?
Scientists. I mean, the same scientists that said vaccines are shooting microchips into our bodies.
He's saying if you vote for a woman, then you're a little bitch, is basically what he's saying.
And I said in the Armageddon
And this
update,
is the shit women put up with.
But do you understand? Like, women say that on Fox. Actually, women reporters come out and say that. What's amazing to me is that I always see these men. You know, whether it's Tate, that guy Tate. What's the guy Tate? No, the guy he's on Instagram all the time. Tate. Whatever. Fuck. He's the guy that was in jail for like 6 months for sex trafficking. Andrew Tate. I watch guys like that is all smoking cigars. Women need to blah blah blah, and I go, "You are such a pussy. Yes. You guys are such." Any of these guys, well, guns, man. Women got to do what I say. Well, that's not how that works, though. If a smart, strong woman intimidates you, then you're not a man,
the
bro.
The honest thing is that you don't exist without a woman. A woman actually made you.
You're right. You owe your life.
That's how insanely badass women are. She made you. You formed inside of her body.
Not J.D. Vance said that didn't happen.
I contributed.
Yeah, no, you did nothing for 9 months.
That's valid.
Which is about right. You had the fun, and then for 9 months we suffer like pigs. That's about right. And then you take equal credit for that person. And so it doesn't make any sense to me. It makes no sense to me that people see women as some men see women as so beneath them.
And it's so interesting how the right they're all fucking cockwads for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like they're
dressed like him.
Yeah.
Like, but you guys are tough guys?
The tough guys that are...
You're all in the same suit.
Maya Rudolph is coming back to SNL to play Kamala Harris.
Yes,
I know she agreed to come back.
Although Odom could have done it. I don't know why they didn't let her do it.
Who?
I forget her name. She's got an interesting first name. Her last name's Odom.
I think
Ingo Odom. No.
Didn't Maya Rudolph play her before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you can't just...
That's a good guess.
I wish they'd bring Alec, he was busy for a while there, but Alec Baldwin as Trump it's never been as good, ever.
Oh, I think the new guy's pretty good. He's pretty good.
It's nothing like good. Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin is such a master actor.
Yeah.
I don't think the impression was as good, but
you are so wrong. It was more of a caricature impression, which made it funnier.
Yes.
It was, and he had the big fat obnoxious
What's the guy's
thing
name that
going
plays
on.
him now? He's great. I think he's really good. He's in some funny. I just watched him do some funny impressions. Saturday Night Live is always pretty consistent, but Maya Rudolph come back is awesome. That's great. That's great. We are now at a place, so there were these weak ass men who. Here's how good Kamala Harris is. All they got is she's a black woman. That's all they got. Like they're like,
just a fact.
Yeah. It's just a fact. Yeah. That's all you get. Yeah, look at the black woman. What about her policies? She's pretty good at her stuff. Toughest on crime, and she wouldn't. She actually put away a ton of people in San Francisco, and she pissed off black people too because she didn't play any favorites. She did not play favorites.
When she was originally running for president, we went to dinner with a couple of friends of ours who are very progressive, and they weren't having it. And we liked her, and they were furious that she had incarcerated so many black people.
She put away, I think it's like 1,190 or 1,900. They said thousands and thousands of for marijuana, and it was like 1,000 total over 7 years, which isn't that many. And that was for big busts. I have to say this. I watch her, and if I was Trump, I'd be scared because we saw her. I showed you in the Armageddon update. There's some times where she was interviewing people as a senator where she freaked them out. Like they were like, "Stop! Give me a second. Can I breathe, please? Just give me a second." Jeff
Sessions.
I'm getting nervous. You're making me nervous.
Now they're calling her. The borders are.
That was never her job.
It was never her name, her title. They've made it up. Big surprise. she never was that. Biden never called her that. He gave her the responsibility to reduce the flow of migrants. She basically, this is what he said verbatim, to lead our efforts with Mexico and the Northern Triangle and the countries that are going to need help in stemming the movement of so many folks. There's Biden. No joke. Stemming the migration to our southern border. So it was a diplomatic effort. And she worked with those nations in the Northern Triangle, like Venezuela, I think El Salvador, and enhanced migration enforcement at their borders, which she did. And then she got I think it was 56 top companies to agree to send money to those countries to help this. I mean, basically what she did, she was extremely successful with it. And then in July 21, she put out a report which was her job, to find out the root causes of migration and what we should be doing in response.
So you mean she busted her ass and did what she was supposed to do the whole time?
Yes.
And there was something they said yesterday that she succeeded in. Her job was to literally get help those countries get some more economic help, so they could so the people didn't want to leave.
He's already been president. He didn't fix it.
He didn't fix it.
He had control of the House and the Senate and the White House, and he did nothing for the border. He decided to build a wall that was pure shit and doesn't meet at state borders because different people built the wall.
A bunch of it blew over too, by the way.
And some of it blew over. And he never completed it. And then his best buddy, Steve Bannon, did a Build the Wall fundraiser for $12 million, which he and his partner then embezzled. His partner has been charged and found guilty.
And is currently in prison.
He was pardoned by Donald Trump. So
he's in prison currently for violating subpoena, but yes, you're right. He was pardoned.
I didn't say anything about him going to prison. You were saying all that. I said he was pardoned by Donald Trump.
No, I was correcting myself.
For that crime.
I was yelling at me.
That he committed.
I never go after women.
About the border. So none of it makes sense. It's the dumbest thing ever.
But that's the thing. This is a phrase, people, for your friend. He's already been president. He didn't fix it. He's already been president. He didn't fix it.
Not only that, but Biden's administration just last week, they caught the top guy, the cartel guy that was responsible for, it was some massive percentage of the fentanyl coming across the border. They kept it quiet. They did you not see this in the news?
No, I didn't see this.
Yeah, hold on. I'll look up his name.
Okay, so he's already been president. He didn't fix it. Whenever someone gives you some shit, go, guys, he's already been president. He didn't fix it. She's right. He had...
It's the son of El Chapo. I knew that, but his name is Joaquin Guzman Lopez. He was just...
the son of... There's a name there. The son of El Chapo. Tiny Chapo.
Chapito.
Chapito.
That's what it would be.
I got it.
It sounds like an insult. You son of El Chapo.
So he got caught. They got him?
They got him Saturday, July 27th. Biden's team actually arrested 2 leaders of the Sinaloa cartel inside the U.S. on last Thursday.
How come the news isn't doing their job? How come this isn't all fucking over the place? How come this isn't on every station all the time? I got to say, man, I'm going to go. It's not just right wing. MSNBC isn't covering it.
That's because we're saying right wing owns it.
Yeah, right wing owns it. CNN's not covering it. Biden's kicking ass and they're still not covering it.
This is a big deal.
To all you, a fucking huge deal. To all you fucking journalists out there that are sitting there just going, yeah, but Biden's Kamala. It took 2 days for them to go, but does she have it? But does she have the ability? Mm-hmm. Sure. She is. They're saying this and that. They say she wasn't tough on crime in San Francisco. When you look up her record, she was a badass. She was a badass as AG.
Chapito actually helped them organize this arrest. It was the 2 tops of the Sinaloa cartel.
What do you mean he helped them organize it?
He
flipped?
By the way...
That's talking across the aisle.
Helped them also
that's a huge partisan.
El Mayo Zambara. That's his nickname. El Mayo. His name is Ismael Zambara, who co-founded the cartel with El Chapo. So Chapito lured him into the U.S. to examine a piece of land that the man thought was in Mexico because he didn't want to leave Mexico. He knows better than that. The flight lands in Mexico. Homeland Security. That might be why I know.
Shout out to family.
Shout out to family. The plane instead landed in El Paso, Texas, where federal agents, including HSI, were waiting to arrest the 2 cartel bosses. What he did not know was that investigators had exploited a rift in the cartel, and Chapito was helping them capture him. But when they landed, they arrested both men. So
you do just now, El Chapito. I know. I think you want to talk about arrogance. He knows about the cartels, right? He kind of flipped on them, and I think he doesn't know that the cartels are the cartels, right?
the cartel, he's staying in the U.S.
His head will return.
His head may end
the
up on a
cartel,
turtle.
one of the world's most powerful, the entire world's most powerful narcotics trafficking organization, specifically in fentanyl, is thought to be responsible for trafficking the largest amounts of cocaine, heroin, meth, and fentanyl into the U.S.
So why isn't Harris going up on her speech and going, "This is what happened this week in this administration. We just got the biggest importer of fentanyl on the planet that's responsible for thousands of deaths. We did that. Guess who didn't do that?
At the
Fat Orange didn't do it.
What are their 2 biggest things? Fentanyl and border.
Right.
And nobody's saying anything about this.
And the news isn't covering either. Here's what I'm saying.
You didn't know. I don't know how.
No, they've.
You were sitting on the
because I'm
highway
watching on the news
on the way to Vegas for 12
on the way to
hours.
Vegas, I was sitting.
This is when I saw it.
I just got mad again. So here's my thing. The news right now, it is better for their rating and it is better for them professionally to make this a horse race. It's obviously not. The man has been president. He didn't fix it. Yet they're treating Trump like, he's getting out there. He's got a lot of support. He's a horrible human being. He cheats on his wife. His wife can't even look at him. So funny to watch her standing next to him at the RNC, and he looks at her and she
was
goes,
trying
and
so
she goes,
hard.
ugh.
She
She
tried
turned away,
though.
yeah.
She really tried that night, but she really can't look at
She
him.
cannot stand him.
There might be a
get
delay in like this border issue right, or this news right here, because
Are you defending the news media?
No, I'm defending the Democrats in that it might take
Right.
a few months or a year, because Biden, you know,
Right.
how many months have we been saying, first of all, everybody's getting on the same page with the word weird, right? All the Democrats are lining up, right?
Yeah.
Get together and line up. We've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
They just need to get together.
They are pretty weird though, man. You get the Republicans are fucking
They're
weird.
so weird.
Yes. So Biden just recently put out like what he wants to change with the Supreme Court,
Yep, love that.
right?
Finally.
And we've
Only
been saying
took
that.
3.5 years.
Yeah, but maybe there's just a
But
delay.
this is an
I think
accomplishment they could laud. Like,
That's
how
running
many?
every day.
he's
Yeah.
already been running. No, this happened after he got out.
Yeah, this
but
happened
it's
a
been
couple
a
days
week
ago.
and a half. It happened
Right.
not this week, but last Thursday.
But it goes to show you that the media has decided what they're going to cover and what they want. The media doesn't do the fucking news anymore. They decide what they're going to do. And here's the other thing about the media. How many fucking people do they have on? Like, why the fuck am I listening to your opinion of what might happen? You wrote a book a year ago. Why do you have any insight?
Yeah.
There's a couple people that I go, okay, this guy kind of knows. But like James Carville is, I mean, if you look, we got to get rid of Biden. We got to get rid of James Carville.
He's already. I mean, let's talk about a skeleton.
I'm sorry, but he sounds crazy. And then you go to journalists and like, you guys are. This is the biggest news. This literally would bring the polls up for the Democrats like crazy.
Well,
because
El Chapito appeared in court yesterday and he pled not guilty and now denies working with the U.S.
Oh, he realized that he's in the cartel. Oh, I'm in the cartel. Ooh,
He realized that even in prison, he's actually really more of a sitting duck.
Damn well he got a deal.
The message
And his
got to him.
father's in prison for life. They got El Chapo.
You know damn well he got a deal. He
Didn't
may have
he
got his
get
father
him
moved
in
to
a
a better
tunnel?
prison. Listen, there's some shit you do, like, because the only way this guy, if he's El Chapo's son, the only way this dude flips is because his dad was like, get me a better deal for prison.
A plot of land on the moon.
And by the way, and fuck that guy. The reason I'm in prison is because of that guy that was part of our organization anyway.
Yep.
So there's some Breaking Bad shit going on here with Gus and Heisenberg that we don't even know, because the cartel doesn't flip. You get killed, period.
Yeah.
You get chopped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
get El chopped.
Yeah, you get El Chapo. They actually unroll a tarp and there's pieces of you laid out like a model car kit for humans. So, and I'll call them all out, man. Jake Tapper. I remember who's the other guy that I just can't stand. The guy, he's got a goatee now. He got fired. Who's the guy?
Who?
He's balding, but he keeps trying to comb it over. The Democratic reporter. You know the guy? He always takes that little bit of Caesar and he tries to push it forward.
Democratic reporter.
Yeah, he's always there, always interviewing. But when did the news not stop being about news? Dan Rather didn't have 6 guys sitting around a table giving their opinion.
But also, Dan Rather wasn't on a 24-hour news cycle.
But that's the problem.
He did the
though,
evening
it's
news.
like, well, then do this. Every 3 hours, tape the news, run it for half an hour for 3 hours, and then do a new version of it, and then run that for 3 hours, because I don't give a shit what your opinion is, guy who wrote a book. You know what? Ari Melber had a comic on.
Ari Melber
Had a comic on. First of all, the rap shit stopped. But he had a comedian on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and all the comedian did was do jokes, didn't talk about what was going on. But even people I respect for years have gone on. Bill Maher had the Hawk Tua girl on.
Yeah.
The Hawk Tua girl on? You interviewed on the Hawk Tua girl?
It's too easy to come out with any information. Back in the fucking day, you had to type that shit up. And it took like 3 days to come up with a story. So it better be the fucking real story.
But it's not, though.
Well, because you had to type it on a typewriter.
I'm saying, yeah.
With that little white eraser pen with the brush on the other end to delete stuff. And you had to put the carbon behind it. And it took 3 days just to type it.
So somebody was like...
Then you had to crank the machine to get copies for everybody. We have lost our way in it. And George Orwell, obviously he could see it coming. But it's gotten to a place now where... The news isn't the news. You know where I get my best news? John Oliver. Like, we watch John Oliver and like he'll funny, and then he just nails some thing where you're like, oh shit, I didn't know about this. I mean, I hope we try to do it, but I
often will go look at certain news sites and then check the other sides and see who is everybody saying this thing happened. And you'll find often that if it did happen, it'll be on Fox buried, like in only online, a little tiny headline down it. Yeah, it's not on the main page, and or vice versa. This episode brought to you by AG1.
AG1,
because you need to fuel your body with whole foods, and it's hard because you always end up with nutrient gaps because you don't know what to eat and you don't know how you're going to eat all of that in one day. Because
we're not a scientist, and our country doesn't want us to be scientists. They want us to be workers.
It's also,
do you want cheese on that?
So AG1, if you guys don't know, one of our all-time favorite products that we use every single day. Yep. It's a foundational nutrition supplement. It's a green powder. You can add it to water, shake it up, drink it, you're done for the day. Or you can put it in a smoothie, which is what I've been doing lately. For me, it has made a massive difference in my gut health, which is why the guy that invented it did so, because of his own gut health. And the genius of this, so I always tell you guys that I do ads in my real life for people. So I was on the phone with my sister yesterday for a long time, and she said that she wasn't feeling well, like her stomach had been upset. And so I had left AG1 there at grandma's house. And so I said, do you still have that? And she said, yes. And I said, you need to start taking that. So she was like, okay, well, what do I do? How do I take it? Can I just drink it straight? And I said, actually, you can. And she goes, but doesn't that stuff taste nasty? And I was like, no, not anymore. It actually tastes tropical. So I did the whole AG1 ad basically for my sister. And so she started yesterday. She's had it today too. And when we first started with them, they wanted us to try it for 30 days because they know it's going to make a noticeable difference in how your body is functioning. Gut health. Yep. I notice a difference in skin, hair, and nails. And the growth of those and how healthy.
I always have a sense of calm after I have that hour after I have it. I always have a sense of like,
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. So it's over 75 whole food source superfoods, vitamins, minerals, adaptogens, your favorite thing.
Adaptogens.
Probiotics, prebiotics. So you don't have to take all those pills. And my sister said that because she can't swallow pills. It's the weirdest thing.
Some people can't.
She can't. She gags like she's dying. Yeah. So she was like, well, if I can do this, it's just a powder. This is easier. And she said, do I still need to take that zinc or that probiotic? And I said, no, you can just take this. So if there's one product that we trust, both of us definitely, to support our whole body health, it's AG1. That's why we've partnered with them for so long and hope that we continue to. It's easy and satisfying to start your journey with AG1. You can try it. They'll send you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 K2. It's a dropper bottle. I add that to my shaker or my smoothie. And you'll also get 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/Titus. That's drinkag1.com/
Titus. I always loved that the guy that invented it did it for his own health. That's how you know it works.
Yeah.
Because the dude was like, I got gut problems all the time, spends 2 years formulating and reformulating, then comes up with this product that's amazing.
Well, they're always testing it.
Right.
And so if it worked for him then, I
Right.
think they've gone through 52 versions since then. And they just they had a research study that showed that AG1 doubled the amount of healthy bacteria in your gut, including 2 species known for supporting gut and whole body health. So they're testing it and seeing why and what it does. It's kind of.
And my emissions are down.
Ray, can you attest? They're not. Okay, I was going to say. Can you attest to that?
That
No.
is untrue. I never let her hear or experience emissions.
She's got solar
Yeah.
fans in the back now.
The UAW has finally come out and endorsed Kamala Harris
Good.
for president.
And today, another thing Trump said today, he goes, she's been horrible for unions and union members. First of all, she started running 7 days ago. But second of all, what?
Didn't he contribute to her one of her early campaigns
Trump?
to be?
I don't think so. Maybe not for Senate. No.
He was a Democrat back then.
Yeah,
he
that's
wasn't
true.
in California though, so I don't.
People
would he have-
forget that. People forget that the man was he just whatever the way the wind is blowing, he follows it because then he's downwind and he can't smell himself. Sorry. I was trying to figure out something. I hate
there's a
him.
wind
You
Same thing.
apologized before you even got it out.
Yeah. So she's been pro-union, pro-worker her whole life. She had to earn everything she got. She didn't just get, I like when they had DEI hire, they just gave it to her. She had to raise money. Like that's the hardest DEI hire ever. You had to win
DEA hire, right? Is that what you mean?
You had to.
He kept saying today during the Black journalist thing, he goes, how do you define DEI? And the girl that he yelled at already said diversity, equity, and inclusion. And he goes, yeah, but how do you define that? And she goes, those are literally
what the letters mean,
what
you
it
fucking
means.
moron. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Do I need another cognitive test? He said that. She goes, will you take a cognitive test? He goes, I have already taken 2. I will gladly take another one.
I've already taken. Is that what he said?
Yeah, but person, woman, man, camera, TV is not a cognitive test.
I know. And he said, actually, I did extremely well. And I thought if he says I got extra credit, I'm going to lose it.
I couldn't have made it in today.
My
I'd still be
husband will
laughing.
still be at home laughing. There's also, so UAW, that was a big deal. Pennsylvania County law enforcement is now throwing shade. They say Secret Service is presenting a misleading picture of Trump's shooting scene, saying that they're trying to blame local law enforcement when in fact it was their own fault.
And by the way, I'm with them. You can't do you did local. You really
That's not their job.
Barney and Andy, those guys were in charge of the president getting shot.
Right.
The ex-former president. Sorry, he didn't get shot. I don't know, man. They keep saying that now. They did a hearing this week.
His ear isn't. He was sitting there today with that side
I
facing
know, but
the
they
camera.
did it. They did
There's
a
not even
hearing,
mark.
and the Secret Service guy said no. There was a bullet. He was hit with a bullet. Now maybe he means he was hit with fragments of a bullet, fragments after
I
the
saw
bullet.
him speak last week when the original
Yeah.
director was there getting shit hammered, and he said, "We don't know if it was a bullet or shrapnel."
Yeah.
I've
So
seen
it
that.
doesn't matter. The president shouldn't get
doesn't
shot.
matter,
It doesn't
right.
matter. Former president should. If you got Secret Service protection, I will say this: it is not fucking local law enforcement's fault.
Yeah.
If you're the Secret Service, and by the way, here's what they didn't do. Go check that building over there. That's what they didn't do. It wasn't like, it wasn't Jason Bourne.
Right.
It was a dipshit moron who just had a gun, and they found thousands of posts of stuff that he'd said, what he's going to do. It's that building over there. Did anyone check that yet?
And a sniper took the kid out
Instantly.
So
Within 13 seconds after the first bullet was fired.
and that the roof of that building was like, a fucking whatever, 100 feet away.
Yeah.
How they missed that shit? That's not the police fault.
Then they go.
Yeah.
Then they go. Why? Because my first thought, I said it to Ray. I go, why didn't they just before Trump came out? They just ran a drone. Why didn't they? They said, well, we're having cell phone interference. What fucking drones are you using? Did Toys R Us just give you their old drones after they shut down the business? So to watch the Secret Service just sit there and hamana, law enforcement, they fucked up. They fucked up. And that's what you say. You go, I'm the new director. We fucked up. It's getting changed. We're going to fix it. You know what we're going to do next time? Check that building.
Yeah. Well, they're doing all inside things now. So that's what
he
not
said.
doing outdoor.
Well, we put them inside because the roofs were hot.
What?
Someone said that too, and when the other director was on, and then you got the douchebags on all the committees who are specifically, now I'm not saying all of them don't grandstand, but I'm saying that the Republicans grandstand. They can't pass a law. They couldn't fix the border. They actually stopped voting on the border because Trump told them to. We had a border bill that numerous Republicans said, this is the most conservative thing since Reagan. We got to do this. And Trump told them no, so they didn't. Now they're trying to call her the border czar, which we didn't have a border czar. I think one of us, as hard as we are into news, we would have heard that, right?
No,
we just said
they're just making
making shit up at this point. But their people are so dumb, they'll believe it. They believe anything they tell them. That's and the one group of people that is helping them, and I'm going to go back to it repeatedly today, is the news media. The news media has decided that it's better for their bottom line to create an actual race instead of pointing out that this man had the job and couldn't fix it. He had the job, he had the Senate, and he had the House, and he couldn't fix it.
Yeah.
Yep.
In fact, what they did pass was more money for billionaires, because billionaires need more money. We need to get into why this man is still popular. Why? And we need to point out everything he did over and over again. And here's why we need to do that. Because we are not just reporting the news, we are saving democracy. Now, also,
us specifically?
No, we do that.
Let me clear that.
That's not down to us, right?
No.
Okay, good.
But we're doing but we do our best.
Okay.
Well, let me counter that though. It's been in fits and spurts. It's been said and it's been attempted, but it's not sticking. They don't give a shit. It's not working for the right.
It hasn't.
That's why they've switched to this, like the right is weird, right? That's why they've all gotten behind that term.
So true. Because
the right there, you can't defend it, right? It's just like a broad thing, like kind of what the right does. They just kind of
it's literally a mean girl campaign that you're weird.
Yeah, but it works. It's working.
Ew.
Because
that's what they should be. The Republicans. Ew.
Yeah.
But also
Jimmy
it
Fallon
really highlights, because we've become so desensitized to it.
Yeah, you said you called it. What'd you say? Bias? You said
confirmation,
exhaustion bias. You said something that we every fucking day this guy does something crazy, and I thought that watching him at the Reporters today, I thought it's starting again every day because he can't stand that Kamala took the news cycle.
So that's all he was doing today, was taking the news cycle and saying the most heinous, racist, and sexist shit that he possibly could. No, that would have just one sentence from that thing today, they would have asked someone to leave.
Mitt Romney would have been gone. Mitt Romney gone.
And they would not have been the candidate for anything. After someone lost the election, when they were the incumbent, they already wouldn't be the candidate 4 years later. What weirdness is this? That's weird too. Mm-hmm. I keep thinking that my saying that I've been saying forever, that we were going to make a t-shirt, quit being weird.
Yeah, quit being
weird. How perfect would that be now? Lumen. This episode brought to you by Lumen. This is something that all three of us have used, because this is another company that wants you to use their product before you talk about it, which I really love. If you don't know what Lumen is, if you haven't seen the commercials, it is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. So you put the app on your phone. You use that. And on the app, it lets you know if you're burning fat or carbs, and then gives you tailored guidance to improve your nutrition, your workouts, your sleep, and even stress management. So now explain.
So, like when you see those guys, like we saw it during the Rocky 3 with the way they got the big mask on, and he's running on the thing, hoses. And he's connected to everything, like he's in critical care and running, and like he's in ICU and working out. So now they develop over the technology is getting better and better. They developed a small little like half pyramid thing, little tiny tapered thing, and you breathe through it first. Mm-hmm. And you got it's kind of a game because it looks like a video game. This little ball you got to hold it. He said he almost died.
You realize how bad your breath is the first week. Like,
realize,
not bad your breath is, but like, I hate that. I'm like, I can't inhale for 4 seconds.
It told me to touch my nose.
I'm like, am I smoking? What is happening?
He goes, I feel like I'm underwater, so I'm trying to blow this thing. But then you get it. I've noticed that it's gotten way better. So then it reads whatever's in your breath and it tells you what you're burning. Are you burning fat? Are you burning carbs right now? And it gives you percentages. And it's turned into a game and competition.
It's like it is, because then and this makes no sense, but we both want to be a 1. But you're not always a 1, and you shouldn't always be a 1. So 1 being you're burning mostly all fat, up to 5 burning mostly all carbs. But you shouldn't be. Your body should sometimes be burning mostly carbs, but we don't care. We just want to be a 1. And from across the house this morning, I heard, I'm a 2.
It's a high 2, but I'm a 2.
She's like, because it's not a competition. I go, oh, yes, it is.
So all you have to do, you breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning. That's the first measurement you want to take. That's the most important, I believe. I do it throughout the day, before meals, before workouts, after workouts, just because I like to see how these different things affect my body, what I'm eating and what my exercise does. And you'll see a drastic drop in that number after an intense workout. Have you measured after a workout yet?
I was a 1 last night.
No, because I'm
just explaining. So what it does is actually, in the first day, I thought it was complicated, and I think I'm the most. I want something that's easy. You hit one button and it fixes you. That's what I want. This, I breathed into it, and started reading what I was doing. And then I had to started putting my food in. And then it became like this over 3 days, became this habit. And then I started to get really interested, like, okay, I'm burning fat on it. And you lost weight like quickly.
Yeah, I lost 5 pounds.
I did too.
And I dropped 3.
I lost 6 since we got them. So, But I'm sure a lot of that was water weight from drinking with my brother the week before.
What I like about Lumen is that I get to see how my body's working. And I'm also, so before you could take a diet, you have a thing and you're like, okay, they say, do this workout and do this diet. Yes. But you don't know what that's really doing.
Yeah, it's not exactly tailored to you.
Yes, this is reading your specific breath, telling you what you need and what your body's doing now.
And then based on that breath, it gives you a personalized nutrition plan. Right. And the coolest thing is, I wish I could show you guys, it gives you a brightly colored with pictures suggestions of meals that would fit into what your guidelines are for
But
that
even
day.
if you don't, let's say you just eat, it gives you a list of carbs, fats, and protein that you need to eat for that day to keep you into a, and you can set it for different things. Like I want to become your goals, but also the like weight loss. Like I think I'm on the weight loss one.
Yeah.
A little bit. And then the other one is
improve your metabolic health.
Your metabolic health. And there's a third one. What's the third one? I'm looking at the weight loss thing. I thought I need to lose weight because I look good.
Basically, all of it is there to help you improve your metabolic health. And so I am super geeked out about this, of course.
Well, because you competed, but also you get to master it. That's the cool thing is that you ever think like, hey, I eat right and I get fat. It's something this thing will let you know that why you're not losing weight.
Yes. So when I was competing, I had a coach who would tell me based on each week what my weight was and what this was. What I needed to take out of my diet for that week or add into my diet. And now I'm learning why, which is totally fascinating. And I had the really horrible idea this morning. I was like, I could compete again without paying a coach. That's a terrible idea.
You hated it so much.
I loved the journey. I hated the on stage and clear heels thing up my butt thing. Especially after I had that running sock glued to my butt. Do you know about that?
What?
Oh, yeah. Oh, your girl's always suave. Yeah, so I'll tell you that in a minute. But I love this product. I have not been as geeked out about a product in a long time. So if you want to take the next step in improving your health, all you have to do is go to lumen.me/Titus to get 15% off of your Lumen. That's lumen.me/Titus for 15% off your purchase. And thank you, Lumen, for letting us try this. It's the coolest.
It's amazing. This is the first time I've been able to get past, like if you hit a wall, right? You do everything right. You count your macros. You're working out all the time. Maybe you're mixing in intermittent fasting. You've done all the different types of diets. You've shaved it down.
Yes.
And you're trying to get to like a crazy, like 12% body fat.
Yeah.
And your body just doesn't.
You don't know why.
You cannot.
No.
You're hitting a wall. This is giving you,
and you don't know why.
Yeah, you don't know why,
and that's what I love about it.
And like this one is telling me, oh, you're not eating enough fat. Like you need to bring fat in.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know where the fuck I'm gonna get fat.
Healthy
Butter
fats,
smoothies. I don't know how I'm gonna get.
And it'll suggest types of healthy fats and things, and it gives you tips, and you learn fat. It's just fascinating. So you asked me what the other thing was: fitness performance.
So what changed for me was like the fat thing. I was like, well, because it gives me like this wicked low carb number. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
And then it gave me this really kind of felt like hard to hit protein number, and then this fat number that I thought the same thing. So I did it, and I have to be honest. I came here. I went home the other day, and I was like, I wasn't hungry all day.
Yeah, you're like,
I wasn't hungry all day.
Satiated, like all.
The fat does that, and I think we forget. We think fat's better, but it's telling me carbs, dude. Stay away from the carbs. Guys, Lumen, go look it up. It's badass.
The other thing,
use the discount code, get it.
Let me just say this really fast, and then we're done. You can tell how geeked out we are.
We're excited about it. Yeah.
Is that it you said helps you build habits. That's exactly what's happening. I'm back in this mindset, and I'm thinking about what I'm putting in my body again, which is part of the weight loss thing. But also, when I do an intense workout, it syncs with your Apple Watch, and my Apple Watch will automatically report to it what I did and how intense it was. And I open the app like it's Christmas morning, and at the top, a banner will say 35 grams of carbs have been added to aid in your recovery. And I'm like, yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's making me work out every day.
You're earning candy.
Not candy. I'm earning tortilla, a corn tortilla, and it's good.
It's a really good product. It is, and the education is what I like the most. And even yesterday, I said I needed so much fat, so I put Havarti cheese, and she goes, "That's not a good fat." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
I like that. He's like, "Wait, cheese isn't healthy?"
Cheese isn't his fat. I was like, it didn't matter what kind of fat.
They give you
I could just suck on some gristle for a while. What do you? I'll give my grams.
No, they give you foodless. You got to go in and click, and it'll tell you what.
I switched it to guacamole.
Guacamole. Avocado is very good for.
Who do you think Kamala's going to take? I think I have opinions about who she should pick for vice
I know
president.
who I think I want, but I don't think she's going to choose him.
I think she's going to choose.
You're going to name it?
Mark Kelly is who I want. Naval combat fighter.
Astronaut.
Astronaut after that.
Gabby Giffords.
I think we said all this last week. Yeah. Yep. And then that documentary came out that showed that he left NASA to nurse her back to health. So you saw this really beautiful, caring, loving side of him. And he's got all those Republican points, the military fighter pilot thing, the NASA.
He's a dude. He's a good speaker. He's a dude when he talks. He's pretty straightforward about stuff. And
he's not crazy. He's more centrist. Yep. He's in Arizona. It's a major battleground state. But I'm starting to, there's not a lot of hype around him.
Well, they may be keeping it cool. It's coming out Tuesday, but I'll say this. This is my problem with Democrats in a lot of ways. Democrats have a pie in the sky vision that they think, and I think sometimes Democrats do not face reality. Democrats have this thing where they're like, I heard one of them on, again, a person with no qualifications on the news talking about what they think. Yep. I don't give a shit. Shut up. You're not the news. She goes, I believe that she needs to Gretchen Whitmer, 2 women running. That would be amazing. And I just go, do you and listen, I'm not saying I agree. Look, Ray could be president. I know Ray. I go to Ray for ideas and help. Ray helps me get through my life. You are one of the smartest people I know.
To believe that.
It's getting the
2 women.
You have to face the reality of our country right now. And so you get a dude like Mark Kelly that balances the ticket, because say what you will, it shouldn't be racist. Absolutely. 100%. I agree with it. People shouldn't be homophobic. 100%. My new show I'm working on right now, there's a whole bit about that. You're right. You're absolutely right. They should be able to have, you're right. But that's not the reality of the people that live here.
Let's get the first one in.
Let's get her. Yeah, I felt about it. Let's get her in. Let's get the things going. And then let's continue. By the way, the aspiration of it is right.
Yes.
Yeah. We should have but the reality of this moment is not.
Yeah.
We got if we Mark Kelly, it doesn't have to be a white dude, doesn't it? But it needs to be somebody who balances the ticket. They're going to paint Kamala as this crazy liberal, which is really not. I know that because our black friends sat down with us and they were like, nope. They were like mad because so we've got this kind of centrist prosecutor. She's tough as shit on crime. When you read what she did, you're like, oh my God, we need somebody. So the people that are leaning Trump or possible RFK go, oh, Mark Kelly. Okay. Obama became president, did a great job, and the backlash on Obama being a black guy got Trump elected.
Yep.
So the reality is there are people that may not be racist to your face. They may not be homophobic to your face, but in that voting booth, all that shit is on the table.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. The aspiration of America continuing is great. Let's get her in. Let's do what we have to do.
We're adding new dates if you guys want to see us not talk about this stuff and just do comedy. We have this month coming up. We have Pittsburgh City Winery. We have Buffalo, Helium, one night only. We have City Winery in Nashville. But you got to go check out the schedule because so many things are being added.
So yeah, this year's going to be big. This new show's coming
As of this Friday, Sacramento Crest Theater is going to be on sale. We haven't been back there in a minute. Fresno Tower Theater is going to be with that one. Those are both Fresno's coming next week. And so you got to just go.
Fresno, we're doing Fresno next week?
No, the ticketing link.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I booked it today. It's going to go on next week.
Well, you sounds like you're saying that.
Hope
It
you're
just sound
ready.
like it was going this.
Yeah,
And
no,
I felt like, we're working on the special.
We're not ready for this yet.
no. Sacramento and Fresno just added, and those will be up soon.
We
Also, Royal Oak Music Hall coming up in December. Super excited about that one. We
the
haven't been
dates are
there
filled
in a
up. This
long
fall is
time.
going to be busy. The new show.
Oh, Lordy,
Can we talk about what happened this weekend?
Grand Rapids is going to be on sale next week. I'm trying to think of everything that has just been added.
Good. Go to ChristopherTitus.com. Then we got a new website up.
Okay, we should just go right to a fun fact.
Fun facts.
Wait, no, you don't call the fun facts.
I just did the dates.
I wanted to talk about what happened this weekend.
I do call it. I just did. It just didn't work.
We went to Vegas this weekend. I went to a place called Wise Guys in Vegas. I've been working for this company for a long time. They're great. I'd canceled in the past. One was because of COVID. I think one was because of grandma.
Yep. That's right.
And the guy got mad at me. I'm like, grandma was dying. I was like, so we finally go back. We had two shows. We had Friday and Saturday. We don't make it. Guys, here's the thing. I realize that our country is it is the thinnest membrane. It is a piece of cellophane between us and anarchy. We get, so Ray doesn't go why? Because Ray doesn't go do Vegas. Ray's just like, I'm not playing Vegas. So, my son has been doing comedy jets. He's done 60 shows, 60 shitty, horrible open mic shows. And I watched him. I went and watched him. And everybody said he's not ready. I'm like, I've been doing comedy a long time. I think he can pull off 10, 15 minutes. Goes there.
Pull off.
Yeah, but that's so did you. I would say that about you
He
for a
called
second.
me. He's so Ken Titus. He doesn't even know it. And he called me after, and Jet and his sister, Titus's sister Shannon, were in the car. And he goes, yeah, it was. He goes, it was good. He goes, all the stuff we worked with him on killed, and the stuff he did himself worked. That's what you said. Worked.
It did though. He's getting better writing jokes. He's not going to write the jokes Ray and I can write. So when we help him, but he did write some jokes of his own that work really well. So we get on the road and we start going to I-5. I leave at 11 o'clock. Now, ask Ray. In the past, we've gone on the road and we've been like, we leave because how long does it take to get to
3.5
Vegas?
hours.
3.5 hours. Okay, so we'll leave at 3.
Yeah.
Then we'll get there right at 6. And then we'll have shows at 7:30. We're good.
I was impressed. You left early.
So
I was like, wow.
I'm like, I'm not doing this again. I hate the stress of it. I always try to make travel. I've been the last 5 years, I'm trying to make travel easier. Get up. I'm up at 10. I'm in the car. I get Jet. I pick him up 11:15. We start hauling ass. And we're hauling ass. We're gonna be there at 2:30. It's awesome. Yeah. We get to about maybe 30, 40 miles outside of Barstow, and all of a sudden traffic comes to, we go from 104 to stopped. Oh, no. I don't mean creeping stop. I mean sitting on the freeway in 115 degree heat, nothing.
Yep.
And we sit there for an hour. I go, this will get clearing up. There's a cop. There's an accident, blah, blah, blah. And we sit there for an hour and we're talking, and nobody's moving. And as I'm looking behind me, I have pictures. We'll put them up. It's backing up forever.
People are having picnics. They're out.
Not in 115. Oh, no. No, people were dying.
You're cooking your food out there.
They're not moving at all.
So I finally go, what the hell's going on? I get my phone. There's no cell phone service. And I find that a guy driving a truck full of lithium batteries has flipped the truck. Now, It's the straightest piece of road in America. It literally goes from LA to Florida. It's the I-15 is there's no curves in it. And he flipped a truck on a straight piece of road. The lithium's burning. Well, lithium at 30 parts per million, it's dangerous. It was putting out 600 parts per million in the air. So they can't let anybody through. Wow. So once I figured this out, I drive across the median, watch the lady in a Tesla bury her Tesla. Bury it, gone. She was done, not going anywhere in the median. We get across, we haul ass to 40. We get on 40 because we're geniuses. We're getting around this. Everybody had the same idea. So you've taken 2 major highways and combined them into one.
And then they started getting in accidents.
Yeah, and then people started doing crazy stuff. So at one point, people crossed the median and went the wrong way into oncoming traffic to go around this. Wow. And so Jet and I, so now we left at 11:30. It's now, we're going to miss the show. We moved the show. Show's supposed to be 7:30. We move it to 9:30. Guys, we're not going to make it. We move it to 9. Guys, club owner calls me, Keith. He's like, dude, are we going to, I said, you won't make it. We'll do it again. Everything comes to a screeching halt again. I mean, I'm talking, we sat for 6 hours.
It's like the fucking apocalypse. Like
dude, and you know what? That's what I thought. I thought anybody who wants to attack America, take out 2 or 3 major highways and it's over. Anarchy. I mean, it was people. It was people like truck drivers were getting so pissed because people started going down the shoulder, and one truck driver just went and he just pulled over. He's still going, no, you ain't passing me. And I went by him and I was like, yeah, because we were all waiting. We get on this road called Kellbacker, and we start, and there's nobody on it. I found the tiniest road I could to get to Vegas. We're doing 100 on this windy, whoop-de-doo filled road. We get there at 10:30 and we missed the show. Oh, shit. We missed the show.
It took him almost 12 hours
to get to Vegas for a 3-hour drive.
So the takeaway is here, don't leave early.
Yeah,
go back to leaving
I just
right at the last minute.
Go to Vegas
he
again.
still would have sat there forever.
I will say this kid.
They shut down that highway for the rest of the weekend.
Vegas. Imagine how many millions Vegas lost.
In July, summertime vacations.
They
families.
shut it down.
Is everything just melted out there? Like all the cars are gone?
We drove. So we came home. We went past it on the way home. We left after the show on Saturday and came home that night, and it was still burning. They had like lights and stuff, and this truck was still smoldering. You can't so you're in the middle of the desert. Lithium takes tons of water to put out. You can't do it. They're in the middle of the worst desert that we have in America, trying to put out lithium with no water around. So it was just a nightmare. I will say this: Jet Titus got on stage, made him open. He had no one warming up for him. He had to warm up the show, and he did great. It was how I felt about you for some you did the improv. I was like, wow,
that was not great. That was not great.
Okay. So it was, yeah, you could have tanked. You didn't. He could have tanked. He didn't. He could have tanked.
I would not use the word great to describe that.
Like night. I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes. And he did very well. So he's doing stand-up comedy now. So, you'll in the future, you'll be seeing him real bail on a gig in the future. But come see both of us on the road. Now it's time for Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. It's Highlanders Fun Facts.
Yeah.
Zeppo Marx.
Yes.
I don't even have it up here. I know you guys are Marx.
Zeppo was the normal one. He was the straight man.
He was the straight guy, yeah. Well, here's something else that you can admire about him.
Okay.
See that little thing right there?
Yeah.
He invented that.
The iWatch?
He has multiple patents related to cardiac monitoring applications, one of which made headlines as the pulse tracking heart wristwatch.
Zeppo Marx is part of the Apple Watch, the sensors and stuff.
Wasn't invented
That's awesome.
He has patents for heart wristwatch, and he did a vapor delivery pad for distributing like a heat pad for aches and pains. He was like really into health, and he invented them.
He was also the thinnest of the Marxists, the least funny by far. But obviously now I know why he was a dentist.
Yeah, because he was like, you guys continue with the jokes.
I don't quite understand why you're walking around. That mustache is not real. It's a big black. What is that?
I have an idea for that.
Groucho.
Speaking of Groucho.
Yay. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Do me a favor. Check out our schedule. We have the new show I'm working on is really getting good. Again, there's a couple bits in it that don't follow my old show. Thank you again to Wise Guys Vegas last week. It was sold out. I guess I had to combine 2 shows, but it was sold out, and the audience, I got a standing. It was awesome. We'll be on the road again soon. Carrying Monsters is coming out pretty quick. Ken and I are almost to the end of it. We're doing some special cool stuff. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Go to ChristopherTitus.com. If you want to see all our stuff, all our content, go to Christopher Titus TV on YouTube. For myself, the Livy Bombshell, Ray on the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There could be one.